I'm going to tell you the story of Little Donkey Bibi. Deep in the night, with a clear moonlight, Little Donkey Bibi was born. Her momma looked carefully for a quiet place in the bush to give birth. The rest of momma's herd were just in the distance, quietly eating grass. Because of that, momma was able to be at peace with her newborn baby. Clean her thoroughly and gently cuddle to keep her warm. As soon as the baby was rested, she made soft, whimpering sounds as a sign of hunger. Carefully, she started to stand up, but she was wobbling on her new legs for a while, until she could finally balance and was able to drink from her mother. It was a beautiful, serene setting at full Bonairean moonlight in the bush, mother and baby nestled amongst the tall grass, with momma keeping her newborn close and letting her baby drink until she was full. Day by day, little Bibi got stronger and stronger, and soon she was jumping and kicking, and she could eat all louder and louder. Her mumma took wonderful care of her, letting her drink as much as she wanted. And with the herd, they would wander around and explore exciting things on Bonaire. After half a year, young Bibi had blossomed into a strong donkey. She had big brown eyes and soft grey fur with streaks of brown hair that were almost yellow at the tips. Bibi was a frisky donkey and she loved to jump high. If things didn't go the way she liked, you were sure to get a loud ee-aw that echoed her displeasure. After a while, Bibi's mom could see that she was able to be on her own more. So Bibi would walk behind the elders of the herd, grazing the tall grass, munching on the leaves of the bushes, and even eating leftovers from containers from the humans. These leftovers consisted of juicy watermelon rinds, banana peels, but her favourite was potato and sweet potato skins, pumpkins, and scrumptious and tender salad leaves. The older donkeys loved the leftovers as well, so when they came upon these containers, Bibi had to move fast and sometimes push the others out of the way in order to get to her favourite. But one day, something awful happened. The herd was very thirsty and there was no water to be found in the bush. It was very dry and they realised the drought had started. The sun was very intense and hot and there were no sweet leaves left to be found. The herd had to find food and water. They started to walk over the streets, along the houses, passing offices in town in search of water. Cars and trucks and motorbikes had to stop because this massive herd was crossing the road and causing a jam. The humans were getting very upset and yelling from their cars and honking their horns. But the donkeys didn't go back to the bush and the canuckoos. They knew they had to find water and food by the humans' yards. And they needed to drink and nourish themselves. The day was almost gone when they came upon a house with no fence. They found there 2 big barrels overflowing with garbage and leftovers and buckets of rainwater. This is exactly what they needed. They ran over to the barrels, knocked them over, with the contents falling onto the ground. Leaves, plastic bags, old dirty clothes, auto parts, carton boxes and leftovers were all mixed together. The donkeys had a feast, eating everything, even the plastic bags and the old rags. They finished the rainwater and kicked over the buckets. Bibi enjoyed a heap of watermelon skins and ate them so quickly no others had a chance to eat any. Suddenly, the doors from the house opened and the humans ran out into the yard, yelling and screaming at the herd. The children started to throw stones and the adults hit the donkeys with sticks. Bibi was hit on her back with a stick and a stone hit her in the stomach, which hurt her very badly. The herd was in shock and ran into the busy street in panic. Bibi was the first to arrive on the street when a pickup truck flew around the corner. At the sight of the donkey, the driver slammed on his brakes, but he was unable to stop. He hit Bibi in her belly with the car. She fell down onto the roadside and all she could feel was pain throughout her body. The rest of the herd scattered along all of the other streets. Bibi tried her best to stand, but the pain was so strong. She fell to the ground again. The driver and the people of the yard surrounded her and continued to yell and scream to make her move off the street. She lay for a while longer, when suddenly a large pickup truck pulled up and stopped in front of her. Some big men jumped out of the truck. Carefully they touched her all over her body and gently tugged her ears and tail. The big men asked the crowd what happened, and everybody had a different story to tell. The driver pointed to the pickup and showed the dent in the front bumper. For Bibi, this whole experience was too much. She wanted to run away, but she was in too much pain. Suddenly, the two big men grabbed Bibi gently, with all their might, picked her up and put her in the back of the truck. They held her feet tightly because they know that donkeys like to kick, then took her to the animal doctor. There, the doctor examined her carefully while the two men held Bibi firmly. All of a sudden, Bibi felt something sharp in her rump, which was a needle from the doctor. Within a few seconds, she started to feel sleepy, and the next thing you know, Bibi was fast asleep. Little did she know the doctor was treating her wounds and giving her medicine while she was sleeping. The two big men then gently put Bibi on the back of their pickup truck and transported her to the safety of a canoe. As Bibi awoke, she found herself nestled on a big heap of comfortable straw in the cool shade of a large roof with a huge bucket of water. Bibi was so thirsty, so she stretched her neck as far as she could to drink some water. She didn't feel any pain in her belly anymore, but she felt very weak and was unable to stand up. Bibi just decided to lay and rest. People started to come to her and feed her something wonderful and nice. She had never experienced this before. A sweet, tender brown bread. At first, Bibi was very cautious, but the people would touch her gently and speak nicely to her and softly rub her legs. So slowly she lost her fear and started to anticipate her new visitors with excitement. Day by day, Bibi recovered from her injuries. She started walking under the roof area, and then she began to explore the beautiful canoe surrounding her. Everywhere there were trees and tubs with water and food, and friendly people taking care of the yard. Bibi became extremely curious and continued to explore the canoe and saw many herds of donkeys. They also were extremely excited to meet Bibi and greeting her by sniffing her, nudging her and calling out "ee-aw." Bibi wanted to see how far she could go, but again she grew tired and had to walk back to the safety of the roofed area and soft straw. A friendly lady fed her delicious cookies and spoke nice words to her. This made Bibi very happy. She was no longer afraid of people, and now she felt they were her friends. Bibi started to join the herds more, and as she grew stronger, she played with them, she travelled with them, and in the evening she would join them for a nap under the trees. She felt at home in this new life and felt at peace and happy once again. One day when Bibi was with the herd out in the canoe by the gate, she noticed a large pickup truck stop right there in front of the gate. She was surprised to see a few large donkeys coming out of the truck and soon realised that she knew these donkeys. Amongst them were her close family, but especially her momma. Bibi started to jump around with excitement and kick her feet with joy and bray with the loudest ee-aw that could be heard all around. The people around were wondering what was happening with the little donkey, and the newcomers were completely surprised by her antics. Once the newcomers smelt the little donkey, they knew right away it was their beloved Bibi. The herd immediately began to nuzzle each other and sniff each other with love. They were so happy to see each other again. The new group of donkeys were immediately taken by the people. Although they were scared of these new humans, they allowed them to brush them and feed them, while still being extremely cautious of them. Slowly, though, they became used to their new life on the cuckoo. They were surrounded by nice trees. They had plenty of food and water. They no longer had to fear the humans would hit them with sticks or throw stones at them. Bibi brought her old friends and family and introduced them to her new family and friends. They were all happy together and formed one big family herd. Every day people passed by the canoe and they brought scrumptious snacks that the donkeys knew very well were for them. One day, Bibi noticed after running that she was very tired and she liked to lie nice and lazy under the cool of a shady tree. Bibi noticed the people of the canoe paid her special attention by gently rubbing her belly, which was getting rounder and rounder. Then one evening, when the moon was full and bright in the canoe, Bibi felt sharp pains in her belly. Bibi was moaning for a while, but as the pain grew, she began to bray louder and louder. The rest of the herd stood quietly in the field close by. After a while, it grew quiet, and the animals went to sleep. In the morning, as the people approached Bibi, they noticed a beautiful, soft, furry baby donkey with big brown eyes laying curled up next to Bibi. Bibi was a momma now. The canoe was full of celebration for Bibi and her new baby. Hip, hip, hooray! Thank you for listening. Till next time. Goodbye.